welcome to the late night WWE Raw reaction show. Yay! I am your host, Geek Boy Meta, otherwise known as Leon, or you can call me Geek Boy Meta, whatever. Yes, obviously here to talk about Monday Night Raw, which yet again was very, very good. I have to say, really enjoyed it. Um, Quick spoiler alert. So, obviously, on my channel, and I need to go on Reddit later to make an apology. By the way, I'm now on Reddit. If you want to follow me, I've got my own like little Liverpool group thing that I'll tell you about a little bit later. Because obviously I covered the Reds as well. Yeah, basically, I'd been talking myself into believing that LA Knight was going to face his mystery opponent all through the week. All through the week. Deliberately didn't watch Monday Night Raw because I was like super excited this morning. Like, oh, who's it going to be? This, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And then I discovered to my horror that it was not, in fact, LA Knight. LA Knight is scheduled to fight the mystery opponents on Friday. And I had led myself to believe that it was going to be on Monday, basically, for all this time. So, anyone that I've told that to, straight up, very sorry about that. God knows where I got it from, no idea. But yes, I'll go for the rest of Raw in a minute. Just to say, as per usual, this will be on YouTube podcasts, and it'll be on as a YouTube video some point tomorrow afternoon, maybe late evening, depends how long I go on. I'm not planning on going as long as I usually do because, for want of a better phrase, for those who are listening, as most subscribers will know, I have a lovely wife and a lovely son upstairs, and I don't really get too many days off, but I do in fact have a wonderful day after tomorrow, and there is no wife and no child. So I am very anxious to drink some beer and watch a film, basically. So yeah, probably won't be on for too long tonight. Obviously, most people would have watched Raw by now. So if you missed me tonight, you can just catch the show tomorrow. Yeah, we'll get into it then. So basically, obviously, the whole thing was built around John Cena. It was his last time in Boston. His last Raw is actually next week as well. So literally, we're down to what, Monday Night Raw next week, then Survivor Series when presumably Cena will be on some form of team, and then we'll be on the what do you call it? The last of the winner of the last time is now tournament. Yeah, I mean, I'd come up with some daft names, but that's pushing it a little bit for me. So Cena's last match will obviously be on December the 13th, and they're in the middle of the tournament. Triple H actually came out, introduced Cena, basically put him up to the crowd, said he was the greatest of all time. There are some of us who remember older school wrestling who would dispute that theory, if is the politest thing I can say. Look, obviously it's all subjective, like Tripp said in his promo last night. John Cena, whatever anyone thinks, is one of the greatest performers of all time. Is he one of the greatest wrestlers of all time? Obviously, he's up there. But for me, look, I'm never going to go against Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. Obviously, I'm an older watcher, and obviously, I know there's obviously a lot of younger watchers who are they've grown up with Cena, so they're going to go Cena. Then again, my favourite in the world was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he's always going to be my favourite wrestler, but the best performer of all time for me is Shawn Michaels, closely followed by Ric Flair. So I get why they have to say Cena's the best of all time, and I do understand that, and if that's your opinion, fine, it's all subjective, but for me, you won't ever beat Shawn Michaels. Anyway, Cena was thanking the crowd. Wasn't a very exciting promo, particularly. Oh, let me just have a look. Hi, Bunny. How you doing? You all right? Yeah, Cena was sort of talking to the crowd, and then all of a sudden, Dom Mysterio's music hit, and I was like, wow, that's confirmation that they're going with Dom. Obviously, he ended up losing the IC title, but obviously he's had the IC title for a while, so it kind of suggests to me I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to put one of the big belts on Dom Mysterio next WrestleMania, because you don't put Dom in that sort of position unless you are going to go with him. And look, the crowd loves him. Whatever I think of Dominic Mysterio is relevant. I think he's a fantastic heel, but like I said, I've said this a million times before. I don't get what I get why people like him as a heel. I don't get why they like him as a person because there's literally nothing to like. He's got a stupid mullet, an even stupider moustache. He's just got this annoying, laconic way of speaking, says I. Uh, yeah, and he wears these daft outfits with the skull fit bits on the front. I pass. I don't know. Maybe it's a younger generation thing. I honestly don't know. As you can tell, I'm not the younger generation, clearly. Um, but yeah, you don't put Dominic Mysterio in that sort of position. We've seen it on his last appearances, which is like gold dust, basically. Unless you're going to go with him. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Dominic Mysterio goes, if not wins one of the world titles next WrestleMania, is very, very close to being in the conversation by SummerSlam. I'd be very surprised now if that's not the way we're heading. Yeah, so obviously Dom put Cena over. The match was what it was. Look, I mean, I'm not going to criticise John. Obviously, he's look. At the end of the day, he's a far better professional wrestler than I am, clearly. And he's what 47, 48, and I'm not going to say he can't hang, but this is probably one of the reasons why John is retiring because Dom had to carry a lot of that match. It's not a criticism of Cena at all. At the end of the day, Cena's been doing this consistently for a quarter of a century. So, you know what I mean? He's not going to be at the peak of his powers. But no, it was still a good match. And yeah, I mean, obviously with Dom carrying Cena in one of his last matches, you would have thought that they are now going to go with him, basically. Let me just read some of the comments, folks, because I'm just conscious that I'm ignoring people. Benjamin, Blake Pilkington. Hi, Benjamin, you all right? Let's have a look. Harley times 6H. Cool name. Hi, Harley. How you doing, mate? You're all right? Benjamin, hi again. And Harley, hi again. Have a good day. Oh, thank you, Harley, very much. I'm going to have a fantastic day, Harley, when I've done this because I have a day off work. The wife and kid are upstairs asleep and they will have disappeared for the entire day. And I get to lounge around and read comic books. So it's going to be, and watch a bit of pro wrestling when they're away. So it's going to be a very good night, I think. Yeah, but enough about my plans for after the stream. The next one, by the way, anyone who's never watched before, if you're wondering why does Dude keep looking in the corner, it's because I can't remember every single thing that happened on Raw. So really sorry, I'm not one of these like YouTube people that can just remember everything off the top of his head. Unfortunately, just out of shot, there is a big old laptop, so that's why I keep looking. It's not me being rude. Yeah, Priest versus Rusev was next. My only thoughts about this match: one, it was way too short. I thought Rusev was really impressive, but my one takeaway is Damian Priest is floundering and he needs to turn heel immediately. What's happened to that lad since he won the belt and he was with the Judgment Day, because obviously he had the feud with Bad Bunny, which kind of put him over. Then he was running really hot with the Judgment Day as a heel. Then he won the belt with the cash in that involved Punk, McIntyre, and Seth Rollins. Lost the belt, had that really good series with Drew. Then he lost the belt. Who the hell did Priest lose the belt to? If anyone knows who Damian Priest lost the belt to, give me a shout because I've completely blanked and forgot who he lost the belt. Then obviously he was in the Terror Twins with Rhea Ripley. I really love Priest and Ripley together. I think they split them up a little bit too early. And then obviously Priest was on his own and he had his feud against the Judgment Day, which I was really enjoying. He was getting quite to the point where he was over. And then they just moved him to SmackDown without a plan and then said, all right, well, Drew's got nothing to do. Let's just match you with Drew McIntyre. And there was just no thought put behind it. And basically Priest, I really like Priest and I think he could be an asset to the company. But personally for me, I don't know what's going to happen with the Judgment Day. But if they are going to keep the Judgment Day, I would simply just move Damian Priest back to the Judgment Day and have him turn heel and just have them absolutely racking people all over the place. They need to do something with Priest anyway, because it's just a bit of a waste of talent for me. Obviously, he's had that feud with Alistair. Not a fan. to be honest, of the feud of Aleister Black, and I also really like Aleister Black as well. They've just mismatched two people who probably shouldn't be working together. I would like to see Priest just battle people like Rusev, basically. Rusev and Sheamus and just have absolute bangers, pardon the pun. But yeah, they need to do something with Priest pretty urgently, in my opinion. After that, it was the whole Punk, Logan Paul, Vision, Jay, and Cody Rhodes segment, which was pretty cool. Obviously, Punk came out and basically wanted to beat the living crap out of Logan Paul, as most of us do. Uh, obviously, Logan comes out, then he comes out with the Vision. And then obviously Jay comes out, and then Cody comes out, and it all ends up in a massive fight. Later on the night, to cut a long story short, they're in the backstage area, and Punk's like, go and have a word with Paul Heyman to the general manager, Adam Pearce. Nearly forgot his name then. And then Pearce is like, you thinking what I'm thinking? And Punk actually says, Regal. And as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, getting William Regal's on. Obviously being a Brit myself. And Regal just came out and shouted, War Games. And that was awesome because obviously it's a whole meme and everything from back in the day. So yeah, no, that was really, really cool. I mean, I'm guessing the whole Logan and the Vision thing now, it's kind of like, is Logan Paul in the Vision, or is it simply just going to be for Survivor Series? I'm kind of thinking now, because I thought Logan with the Vision could be quite cool, but then I thought, well, it just doesn't really fit. The problem that I've got with it is like, Bron Breakker has blatantly said that he wants to be the man, and he didn't want it to be Seth Rollins, for want of a better phrase. And you're kind of like, well, it obviously, I don't know, Seth was injured, so storyline wise, if in storyline wise Bron has got rid of Seth Rollins, why would he then say, "Oh, cool, Logan Paul can just be the next one in line"? That doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest. So I am starting to think that maybe Logan Paul is just there for Survivor Series now. I'm guessing it's going to be Logan, Bronson, Bron, because obviously they've got Cody, Jey Uso, and CM Punk, but you can't really have a 3-on-3 Survivor Series match. I mean, traditionally it's usually a 5-on-5, so I'm guessing if it's Cena's last appearance, maybe Cena's involved. I mean, I don't know how many like traditional Survivor Series matches they're going to have. I mean, back in the day when I used to watch it when I was a kid, which was a very, very long time ago, they literally had for Survivor Series, there were like about 4 or 5 of these Survivor Series matches, all with different teams and stuff, which obviously they don't do so much now. So I'm guessing I'm guessing John Cena ends up on the team, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought the plan as well was to have the MFTs. Ooh. Sorry, I'm not. By the way, I'm not a fan of the MFTs at all. I'm assuming the plan was to have the MFTs versus the Wyatts. Obviously, Uncle Howdy's not there at the minute because of everything that's going on with his father. Shout out to IRS and Mike Rotunda as well, and Taylor. I hope you get better soon, mate. Yeah, so I mean, presumably it'll be Cena with the team, and maybe. I mean, I can't. I don't know. Well, I mean, assuming it will be Drew McIntyre, with obviously him and Cody still having a thing going on. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that should be a very cool match, whatever happens either way. Because obviously it's now Survivor Series War Games. I mean, back in the day it was just Survivor Series, and they've kind of jammed War Games and Survivor Series into each other, because Survivor Series back in the day, for the kids who don't know, was just a traditional either 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 match. The War Games thing didn't come until, what was it, 2017, 2018 maybe? I can't remember now, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see who the teams are going to be. Next match was Raquel Rodriguez versus Stephanie Vaquer. Randomly, and I'm sure people will laugh at me for saying this, I actually really enjoyed that match, and I thought it was the best match of the night. I thought it was really, really good. I actually do really like Raquel Rodriguez. I think she has got such an upside to her. I mean, one of the suplexes that she did, like, I'm trying to think how to describe it. Like, Steph sort of had her in like a like a chin lock, like when she was gripping onto Raquel Rodriguez, and Raquel, like the power one. I mean, I know Steph's only quite a slight wrestler, but without even blinking, she literally turned her over and then just suplexed her. It looks way cooler than the way I've just rubbishly described it, basically. But yeah, I actually really like Raquel, and I hope they give her a chance to be one of the main players. I mean, obviously it's going to be difficult for what with Becky Lynch, Charlotte, um, and all the other talent that they've got, and obviously Rhea and Io Sky. So it's going to be very, very difficult for us to get that sort of top spot. But I do like Raquel Rodriguez very, very much. I've been really, really impressed with her and Roxanne Perez all throughout the summer and the winter. I think they're really good. Roxanne Perez, by the way, is in my top five for wrestler of the year. I think she is. I mean, people that have listened to me before will have heard me say this, so apologies if I'm repeating myself. I think Roxanne Perez is sensational. I mean, I'm so impressed with her. Not so much with the character needs a bit of development, in my opinion, but just her wrestling, her pure mat to mat wrestling. She's brilliant. She reminds me a lot of. I know this is a bit of a strange comparison. She reminds me a lot of Dean Malenko. Like a, I don't want to say female Dean Malenko. I'm just going to say another wrestling version of Dean Malenko. Um, that's the only one I can think of to compare it to. Just the way that she does the holds, psychology, ring awareness. I can't speak highly enough of the woman. I think she's absolutely fantastic, to be fair. And then, yeah, at the end, obviously, Steph gets the win, and then Nikki Bella, oh, surprise, surprise, turns heel. Wow, am I ever shocked? I had no idea that was going to happen. I mean, it was like the most obvious heel turn that I've ever seen. Although, to be fair to WWE, I loved the fact that they got Nikki Bella to turn heel in Boston and annoy everyone on Cena's last match in Boston. That it was kind of a cool little. Yeah, we're just ribbing you. We're going to give you Cena winning, but we're just going to throw this little one in as well. So yeah, that was well done by WWE. To be fair, I, I know a lot of people like the Bellas. I've got to be honest, obviously, that their heyday was about 12, 15 years ago. I was never a huge fan. I'm not going to claim that I was. I respect, obviously, both women for what they did for the business, because a lot of the ladies wouldn't have what they've got now if it wasn't for the likes of the Bellas and Mickey James and Trish Stratus and Lita and Ivory and Jazz. So respect to them, but they were never my favourites, to be honest. So I hope the program with Vakia and Nikki Bella is just going to be like maybe a month, couple of pay-per-views, and then it ends, and then Nikki Bella like turns back and says, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have turned heel," and blah 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 blah, and then we go from there. So yeah, but I do not need to see in 2025 going into 2026 Nikki Bella beating Stephanie Vaquer, and I would be most annoyed with that, to say the least. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. Talked about William Regal. Oh, just quickly. Hello, yes, Arsenal. Although that lead of yours has slipped a little bit, not to us because we're completely out, but there's a certain team in blue who seem to be sneaking up there very quietly at the minute. Anyway, look, we're still the champions for like probably another month, give or take the way this is going at the minute. At the moment, I just want Liverpool to get to 40 points, and I'm only being semi-sarcastic at this point, to be quite honest. But yeah, no, Arsenal are doing very well, aren't they? wanted to say a shout out to Shinsuke Nakamura and Sheamus. I really enjoyed that. I think it was very, very good. Like I said, I love the Raquel and Stephanie Vaquer match. One quick thing, actually, I'm not having a go at the crowd in Boston. They went a little flat after the Cena thing. I just wonder in retrospect whether they would have been better off. And obviously, I know Cena's got his commitments, and basically he's in his hometown. He probably wanted to finish early so that he can go and see his mates and his missus and blah 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 blah. I just wonder whether they would have been better Cena and Mysterio at the start with the promo, and then Cena and Mysterio at the end, and then it just keeps the crowd sort of hyper. I mean, just to do it in the space of 30 minutes, and it's like, yay, Cena's left now, and everyone's like, cool, what are we doing now? Because everything after that is just going to feel really flat. So I thought, in my opinion, I thought WWE should have just they should have had the actual title fight when Cena won the IC title. They should have had that at the end of the show. That's just my opinion. That's how it used to work back in the day. Also, as well, I am nitpicking a little bit. And I'm going to sound like a very old man now, grumpy old man. When Steph got announced at the start, or when she came out, did a whole entrance and everything. Raquel came out second, which really annoys me because and again, I know I sound like a very grumpy old man, but back in good old day, to use a little bit of Yorkshire accent that I've got, the challenger came out first. And also the challenger was televised. Raquel Rodriguez came out during the break, and it's like, look, if that had just been an all match between her and Vaquer, absolutely fine, not a problem at all. That was for the women's world title. I mean, you have to present it as, look, I mean, everyone knew that Vaquer was going to go over, and that's fine, but you have to present it as a world title fight, and it just wasn't presented as such. That I don't think that helped with the crowd. I mean, obviously the crowd can't see the TV, but just the way it was presented wasn't great, and I thought Raquel did really well to sort of recover from it. But yeah, it was just, I am just nitpicking because it was a really good match, but I didn't like that at all. Like, you have to have the challenger first, and then you have to televise the challenger as well. Just to not have, I think she was in the advert breaks, but like for her not to have been featured on the show coming out to her entrance with Roxanne, I didn't like that at all, to be honest. But yeah, going back to Nakamura and Sheamus, just an out and out slugfest brawl. I thought they worked really well together. I'm glad Shin's doing something now, and I'm glad he's got his original entrance music back. He seems to be a lot better and happier in himself. And Sheamus, fair play to him, he's doing some really good work at the minute. I thought the match was absolutely bloody brilliant. It wasn't a scientific masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination, but those two don't need to do scientific masterpieces. And I love the way that the match was really good, to the point where they got the crowd back into it, because like I said, the crowd had been quiet. But then, because the match was so good, the crowd really got into it. I mean, obviously Sheamus is Irish, and Boston is an Irish town, which obviously helps. But yeah, no, it was no, really, really enjoyed it. In fact, I might change my mind and say Sheamus Nakamura was the best match of the night, but it's a close thing. Let's have a look. It's all good. What has happened to Liverpool? I'm currently in Mushin. Such a dilemma. I support both Bayern and Arsenal. But Bayern and Arsenal. Oh, I bet you're popular in Germany. No, fair play, fair play. What has happened to Liverpool? We are rubbish. I can't really offer an assessment better than that, to be honest. Yeah. It's just been it's been diabolical. My only wish for Liverpool now is to finish in the top five, and I think we'll be struggling to do that this minute. If someone actually, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but providing top five gets you in with the coefficient, I would, if someone said Liverpool guaranteed finish fifth in the Champions League, take it or leave it, I think I'd probably take it at the moment, and then just get through this season, crack on, and try again next season. Obviously, I'll still, be there supporting the boys every single week, but I mean, they're not going to win the title. They're not good enough to win the Champions League, and the FA Cup. We are useless in the FA Cup. Basically, we have been since I've been a fan mostly. So, yeah, no, it's not great, but you know what I mean. At the end of the day, I got to see us win the league title last season. I had a fantastic time. Got to go and see the trophy parade in Liverpool. I had two of the best days of my entire life, with my family as well. So look, you can't have a wonderful season every single season. The lads might be able to pull it out, but I just don't think we're in Arsenal's league at the minute. I don't think we're in Man City's league, and to be honest, I mean, I don't really think we're in Chelsea's league, quite frankly, at the minute. I mean, if anyone's going to come through, if it's not Arsenal and City, it might be Chelsea, but I just don't think they're consistent enough either. Thank you very much about the wristband comment. Yes, that is for anyone watching, that is the mighty Ghana, because I am British Ghanaian, so yes, I will be supporting the lads in the World Cup. But yeah, no, yeah, thank you for that. Just quickly as well, in terms of the wrestling, so they announced two matches. Javon Evans and Gunther for next week on Monday Night Raw. I had a bit of an issue with that as well, in that it would have been nice if Gunther was kind of a surprise kind of thing. I'm not sure, just like, oh yeah, by the way, Gunther's coming back. I was kind of like, really? Like, you're just gonna like throw him out there kind of thing. We're not even gonna have like a package of him returning, because obviously Gunther lost the belt to Punk at SummerSlam, and it's like, really, we're just gonna say Gunther just returns randomly? Like, all right, fair enough. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing Javon Evans as well. I don't watch NXT as much as I should, to be completely honest. It's actually on tonight, funnily enough. I might actually seeing as I've got the day off, I might tune into it possibly. Look, if I can ever do this, because obviously most of you all know I have a job in real life, but obviously I'm not going to lie to you guys. I would like at some stage in the next couple of years for this to be the job, basically, for want of a better phrase. So, whether that happens, I don't know, but I'm going to give it my best go. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But yes, I would really love to do this as a job. I don't know why I was telling you that for. That's the brilliant thing when you have depression, anxiety, and stress, and you go a bit funny with your brain, and sometimes you say something, and then you completely trail off and completely forget what the hell it was you were actually talking about. To be honest, so, but yeah, they announced Javon Evans versus Gunther, and then they announced Solo Sikoa against a mystery opponent. Now, look, obviously, LA Knight, obviously I got this completely wrong. He was the mystery opponent. He's got his mystery opponent, but that's actually on SmackDown. This one is going to be on Raw from New York City next week, MSG, which I'm looking forward to, because obviously if you've never been to Madison Square Garden, if you get the chance to go, because it's absolutely freaking awesome. I went to go and see the New York Knicks there, 2006, and the Knicks actually lost, but it was just, the whole atmosphere and everything in that stadium is just amazing, absolutely amazing. If you ever get the chance to go to New York, I'd thoroughly recommend it. But yeah, in terms of who Solo's facing, I mean, I've come up with the usual list. Um, I mean, could it be The Rock with it being New York City? It could be. The Rock against Solo Sikoa? I would probably suggest not. Could it be Roman? Kind of works, I guess. And then there's the usual people that I said for the LA Knight match. So Chris Jericho, Edge, Matt Cardona, Nick Nemeth, Joe Hendry, um, Kurt Angle, maybe Braun Strowman, because they did say someone who doesn't work for the company. Could Jacob Fatu come back, maybe, and his injuries being overhyped? I don't know. Oh, there goes my laptop. Oh, no, I've got it back now. Could it be Brock? That wouldn't make any sense for Brock and Jacob. Could it be someone from NXT? I've got Rob Van Dam, one of the Hardy Boys, JBL, Ryback, and also, I was going to say Ken Anderson, but I'll just say Mr. Kennedy. If anyone remembers Mr. Kennedy, I don't know, but I'm guessing it's not going to be him. I don't know. So I genuinely have no idea who Solo's going to face, but I really am not hugely thrilled about Solo being in that tournament. Like I said, I don't want to keep harping on about this, those of you who have watched me before, and I don't want to be awful to Solo Sikoa. Look, he seems like a lovely bloke. He's a very good wrestler, but I just don't like the MFTs, and I don't like the way Solo's presented. I like Solo in the Bloodline. I think if they'd just kept the original Bloodline and had Solo as part of it for a couple of years, and then basically turned him babyface, I think that could have been really, really good. But I just don't buy Solo Sikoa as a mob boss. It's just, I don't know. It's not for me, basically. So let me just read the comments, guys, because obviously you've all been nice enough to comment, and I'm ignoring you, which I do apologise about. Hey, Depression Talk, how you doing, mate? You're all right. Finally subscribed to you, lad. I managed to catch. What were you talking about? I managed to catch. I don't know if you were in a garage or something. Just on my lunch, I just saw that you were. I can't remember what it was. It was either today or the other day, and I think you were making something. Like I said, I'm really sorry, depression, but like I have one of those brains that I was telling you about. I know I was watching you doing something, but I can't remember what the hell it was. So I did tune in for about 3 or 4 minutes. So yes, I will try and catch you whenever I can, mate. So yes, I finally subscribed, and yeah, your channel looks really good, dude. Congratulations. Nice to see you again. Let's have a look. Hassan Kakir. Hassan Kakir. 6760. I'm just going to call you Hassan, because I don't want to butcher your name. Yes, I'm guessing that says cool. Depression Talk. Yes, Deutschland. Yeah. Ah, lots of Deutschlands. Oh, cool, nice one. Let's have a look. Richtig. My German is not quite as good as my Brummy, so I will move on from that. I'm really sorry. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah. Depression Talk. Are you a Liverpool supporter too? I don't know if Depression Talk is a Liverpool supporter. I'd be very interested now. As long as he's not. I'm not going to say it just in case Depression Talk supports who he could support, just in case, because that could be very embarrassing. So I'm not going to say anything further. Finn does WWE. Hi, Dad. Yeah, hi, son. Hi, Finn. You're all right. Did you enjoy it? Monday Night Raw. Richtig, really? Oh, right. Okay, cool. Nice one. Thank you. Yeah. Raw was incredible. Yeah, Finn. I was going to say I haven't done the grade for it yet, but just to say, dude, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Like I said, I the main thing about Raw is I loved all the matches. I wasn't sure about the Rusev Priest one, just in terms of like it should have gone on a bit longer. And like I said, I just think Damian Priest needs some help at the minute because I'd like to see Priest back to the level that he was. So I wasn't sure about that, but the rest of them were absolutely brilliant. The segments are all awesome. Let me have a look just quickly because I'm nearly finished the review, folks. So yeah, obviously we had Charlotte and Alexa Bliss versus the Kabukis. I enjoyed the match. I'm not so sure about the result. I would have liked to have seen Charlotte and Charlotte and Bliss even keep the belt for a little longer. I mean, I'm assuming at some stage they're going to have to split Charlotte and Alexa because I'm suspecting they're going to need Charlotte for WrestleMania season, and obviously that's where she does her best work. And I'm guessing that little tease the other day on SmackDown would suggest to me that it's going to be Charlotte versus Jade Cargill at WrestleMania next year. I'm pure guess. I've got no idea. By the way, one thing I didn't mention: this Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree thing needs to also end. Not a fan of that, to be honest. No offense to Miss Dupree. Obviously, she's got a tremendous upside to her. She's obviously extremely athletic. She's got a good look. She could potentially, I mean, she's very, very young. She's still green. I'm sure she can get better. And Bex has done a decent job of like putting her over and stuff. But I would like to see Becky Lynch not be the Intercontinental title holder. And I would like to see her going back into the main event. So I'd like to see Bex working. I think the smart money is potentially Becky Lynch versus Stephanie Vaquer, but then obviously you've got Rhea Ripley to throw in. I mean, I was toying with the idea of Rhea Ripley versus Bex versus Stephanie Vaquer the other day in like a triple threat match, because I mean, Jade Cargill's definitely going to be featured. Obviously, Naomi's going to be 50-50 because obviously she's giving birth, which is a bit of a problem. But I'm guessing she might be back for Mania because I think Naomi at the moment is 4 months pregnant, so I should know this being a father. I think November, December, she could just make WrestleMania just by, I think she gives birth, if I'm not much mistaken, 3 or 4 weeks beforehand. Having gone through this with my missus, I'm not sure my beloved wife would be hugely impressed if I suggested after giving birth that she go and wrestle at WrestleMania. But obviously, my missus is not a professional wrestler, so I don't know if she's going to be back. But yeah, the point is obviously they're going to have quite a few. I mean, like the comment said, the Raw roster is stacked. Obviously, also as well, one would have thought Bianca Belair would have been back at that stage. What do you do with Io? You've got Alexa, but I mean, honestly, they've got so much talent. I mean, like I said, Roxanne Perez, I think she's bloody brilliant. Raquel Rodriguez, you've got Lyra. I mean, Lyra and Bailey weren't even on the show. Were they not on the show? I don't think they were on the show, were they? So yeah, just to finish off, basically, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the match. I would have liked to have seen Charlotte and Alexa keeping it a bit longer, but then it kind of helps feed into the War Games kind of thing. And then obviously, I'll have to be careful how I phrase this for the ladies who may be listening, so I apologise in advance if I misspeak. Lash Legend, and you probably know where I'm going to go with this. Lash Legend and Nia Jax came out to basically cost Bliss and Charlotte the match. Fair enough, it's fine. Lash Legend then comes in, starts beating up Charlotte. Nia Jax then comes in, and she's wearing trousers, obviously boots, absolutely fine. She's got hair up in a ponytail, absolutely brilliant, not a problem. The top that she was wearing, how do I put this? We came very obscenely close to a slightly embarrassing wardrobe adjacent malfunction, which wasn't particularly helpful for me when this happened, because I was actually sat, because my son watched most of it, then he went to bed. And then I was watching the rest of it with my vaunted wife, who happened to see the near wardrobe malfunction. I'm not going to describe what happened. If you've seen it, you'll probably guess what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to describe what's going to happen because I like to be respectful to ladies, and I'm not going to dig out Nia here, but I would politely suggest if Nia's going to be involved in a dust up at the end, she might want to wear clothing that isn't going to cause the near malfunctions that they could have done disastrously on live TV. Like I said, you watch it yourselves. I'm not going to describe what happened, but you can probably guess. Anyway, Io Sky came out, then the Kabukis and Nia and Lash started beating her up, and then this is my brutality, and I proper popped because I've been missing Rhea so much because she's like my favourite wrestler in the world. I absolutely love the woman, she's bloody brilliant. Rhea came in, clean house, and then she also shouted, War Games! So yeah, it looks like we're getting the Kabukis, Lash Legend, Nia. By the way, I do like the Lash Legend and Nia team up. I think that could actually be, there could be something in that. They look quite decent together, to be fair. They look like they've got a bit of a connection already as well, just after a couple of appearances. So it's going to be them two and the Kabukis versus Charlotte, Alexa, what are you trying to say? Charlotte, Alexa, Rhea and Io Sky. Now, again, I don't know if it's going to be a 4-on-4, but it's usually a 5-on-5. maybe Maxine Dupree joins the Rhea team and Becky Lynch joins the other side. That would kind of make a bit of sense, I suppose. I mean, I was thinking obviously Bailey and Lyra, but obviously there's two of them. You can't really have 6-on-6. Unless, well, unless it is 6-on-6 and you have like Roxanne and Raquel making up the numbers. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, I am looking forward to the two War Games matches. That actually does look pretty decent, to be fair. Yeah, and like I said, Raw did have something else I was going to talk about with you guys. Just something that pops in my head. But just very quickly, Monday Night Raw, I'm going to give it an A. I thought it was brilliant. The Raw show that I saw about a month ago, the Australia one, I think is my favourite show that I've seen this year, possibly. So I don't put it as high as that, but it was absolutely excellent. And match of the night, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go with Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura. So apologies to Raquel Rodriguez and Stephanie Vaquer. That was an excellent match as well. I thought that those were the two standout matches for me as far as I'm concerned. They were absolutely excellent, but I'll just give it to Sheamus and Nakamura. So yeah, excellent show. Great wrestling matches, and obviously you had the moment with Cena, which my son was very happy about. And yeah, it was just a great show, and there's lots to look forward to, basically. Swing and walk for the working man, as Stone Cold used to say. Right, let me just read some of the comments because I'm ignoring you guys again. Let me have a look. Raw was incredible. Finn, why does it feel like a PLE? Yeah, I thought that as well. Yeah, I thought that Finn as well. It did seem like that, didn't it? It was like full like pay-per-view and stuff. Cena put me in a good mood, my go. Yeah, I think everyone was very happy about that. Maxine Dupree is winning the title next week. I think she will, Finn, to be honest, purely for the reason, I think with it, obviously we're not at WrestleMania season yet, but obviously they're going to have to start moving chess pieces about to get main events ready and this, that and the other, and feuds and so on and so forth. I think maybe Bex loses the belt, then she goes away, and then maybe Talking comes back at Royal Rumble and then goes after one of the big belts. So either Steph's or, I mean, obviously she can't really wrestle Jade unless they turn Becky Lynch back into a face, which I prefer Becky as a face. I think she's a fantastic heel, don't get me wrong. I thought she was really good. But the things with Bex, she's kind of like a, I'm not comparing it to Stone Cold Steve Austin, obviously, but she's kind of in that Stone Cold position where she's a really good heel, don't get me wrong, but I think people want to cheer Becky Lynch because she's just such a likeable woman at the end of the day, and she's a really good wrestler. I just think maybe they'll end up turning the back face. I don't know, because I mean, obviously her husband, when he comes back, now has to be a baby face, so maybe they go with that. I don't know, but yeah, I think you might be right, Finn. I think Maxine could go over, but we'll have to wait and see, obviously. Oh, thank you. Yeah. That's very, very nice of you to encourage people. Yes, I agree with yeah. If anyone out there wishes to like and subscribe, that would be awesome. If you would just want to chat, then not a problem at all. No big sales pitch. Women's roster is stacked. Naomi won Miss WrestleMania. Do you know what, Finn? I've got a funny feeling. I don't think she'll be wrestling. I think she might just make it back, like maybe to be involved in some way, shape, or form. Not in a match, but maybe she hits someone with a steel chair or something. Because, like I said, I'm fairly sure that she's due to give birth. I want to say it's 2 or 3 weeks before. Maybe. I could be wrong, I don't know. Thank you for the Garner wristband shout out, dude. Yeah, no, that's the country. Speaking of which, by the way, shameless plug, those of you who are interested in football, December the 6th, I'm going to be doing a live watch along for the World Cup draw, but it's not going to be England centric, basically. It's going to be these boys, because I can't tell you how hyped I am about Ghana being in the World Cup, because obviously I know there's a lot of England fans who are just like, yeah, we've qualified, whatever. Obviously, Ghana are a much smaller country, and it's like a big event when Ghana qualifies, so I'm really looking forward to it. Can't wait. So yeah, I'm going to do like kind of like a mini World Cup draw, maybe get a couple of adult beverages, possibly, while the draw's going on, and then yeah. So I should be doing that on December the 5th, which is in my good God, that's in 3 weeks. Crikey, I better get prepared for that. I'm going to get some sort of whiteboard as well and put it like here or upstairs. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do it. Basically, I'll just have to keep turning around and do whatever. So, but yeah, I'm sure it'll work. Basically, there's lots of other stuff coming up as well, which I'll tell you guys at the end. Let's have a look. Bliss was out for 2 years. Yep, I know, mate, I know. Add Nikki Bell to your heel side and Vicky. Actually, yeah. To be fair, Finn, that's yeah, that could work. That might work slightly better, actually. To be fair, I'm just thinking, has Nikki Bella interacted with any of the heels? Kyrie, Oscar, I don't think. Did she have a feud with Nia? Maybe a long time ago. I can't remember, but and does she have history of anyone? Obviously, she's got history of Charlotte. Yeah, that could work quite well, actually. To be fair, don't judge, but I had a few tears in my eyes when I said, "Oh, Finn, fair play, mate. If he's one of your favourites, that's fine." Look, dude, I cried when I mean, mine's a slightly different story because I've mentioned this before. When my old fella passed away, Stone Cold Steve Austin won the belt at WrestleMania. This is how old I am. WrestleMania 14, would you believe? And it was about 5-6 months after my dad died, and like Stone Cold at the time was one of those people that not keeping me alive, but it was like someone to get behind. You know what I mean? And I cried when he won his belt. I mean, it was a slightly different thing, obviously, but dude, I've cried at wrestling before. Don't worry about that. I cried at Daniel Bryan's first retirement speech when he left. And my missus quite likes Bryan Danielson, but obviously in WWE is Daniel Bryan. And my missus, who doesn't watches a little bit but doesn't really watch it. I mean, she was sat there in tears when we were both hugging each other on the couch, like, oh, it's so horrible. So yeah, no, dude, don't worry about it. That's what wrestling's there for. It's meant to make us feel stuff. So yeah, that's fine, dude. That's fine. You cry. Where are AJ Lee and Brock Lesnar? I'm starting to think the AJ Lee thing was just a one and done. Unless, of course, they're going to bring her back for WrestleMania. That's the other thing about keeping Bex with the strap, is maybe you run a program with them for WrestleMania as another option. I don't know, but then that means Becky Lynch would be the Women's Intercontinental Champion for not far off a year, maybe 10 months, and she doesn't need that level of belt for that long. I mean, I know what she's trying to do. She's trying to elevate the belt like Cena did back in the day with the US title, and it's kind of what Cena's doing now, because like whoever beats him for the belt, if someone does beat him for the belt at the end, presumably with the Intercontinental Champion, and that championship, the prestige that will get will be really, really good. I mean, I suspect if it is anyone, it might be Gunther at this point, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, and in terms of Brock, I mean, mate, who knows? I would have thought. I would have thought you're talking Royal Rumble for Lesnar, maybe. I mean, he could be back at Survivor Series, who knows? But I would have thought realistically that's what you're talking about. Let's put it this way: I wouldn't be watching wrestling if it wasn't for John Cena. My channel would be up without John Cena series my wrestler. Oh, do. To be honest, I will be completely honest. I had a spell with Cena around 2009. So when he first came in, when he was doing the hip hop stuff, because I was always a hip hop guy. Obviously, I loved Tupac and Biggie and Method Man and Wu Tang and all that back in the day. And I really liked that Cena came in with a hip hop gimmick, and he can actually rap a little bit as well. And I really liked it when he was Doctor of Thugonomics, and obviously he had the big basketball jerseys, because that's kind of the sort of stuff I wear. Well, I wouldn't say wear, attempt to wear these days. And he had the series with JBL, a couple of matches with did he wrestle Eddie? He had that whole feud with Kurt Angle, and I thought, yeah, it was going really well. And then he kind of went into Super Cena, and Super Cena's fine, but it was getting to the point where he was winning every single week, and by every single week, I do mean every single week without fail, and that's not John's fault. I mean, who knows what conversations they had backstage, but it was getting to the stage where you were like watching pay-per-views and you're like, why am I watching this for? Because I just know that Cena's going to go over. And again, that's not John's fault. At the time, I didn't appreciate what Cena was going through in respect of, obviously, The Rock had disappeared, Stone Cold Steve Austin had disappeared, Shawn retired, Taker was having limited appearances, and so on and so forth. So that generation was, obviously, Triple H was only now and again as well. So it was a huge transition period. I don't think I fully appreciated the work that Cena did at that time. Obviously helped elevate CM Punk as well. To be honest, I think it's a shame that Punk left in a lot of ways, because there is a what if, like what if CM Punk had got over his differences with Vince, and him and Cena had carried on. I mean, that could have been the feud. And I'm sure they would have wanted to work with each other, because I think Punk and I'm not sure if they're friends, but you can tell how much they respect each other. To be fair to them. So yeah, no, he is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I have no doubt about that. It's just, for me, Finn, to be honest, like I said, I used to watch old school wrestling, and Flair was sensational back in the day. And the one that I've watched most, that I can remember, is definitely Shawn Michaels. And for me, Shawn Michaels is the best professional wrestler of all time. But it's all subjective at the end of the day. It's whoever people like at the end of the day. It's not for me to tell someone who their favourite wrestler should be, and I wouldn't expect people to tell it me back either. I mean, if people disagree with me, it's like, yeah, that's fair play, not a problem at all. Just very quickly, for those of you who will be listening on the podcast and the few people who are remaining at present, there was one thing that I was thinking about with Cena leaving, and I might write a Substack about this. Sorry, another shameless plug. If anyone reads Substack, I have a Substack account as well. I write about Liverpool. I do quite a few bits and pieces about WWE. I recently, if you guys want to check it out, and I don't know why this popped into my head, but I recently tried to plan out a pay-per-view between WWE and AEW, which obviously I know that will never happen, blah, 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 but like, my lizard brain basically went on fire when I started thinking of the matches and who would have to speak to who and what would they do with CM Punk. You've got the amount of people who work for AEW and WWE and so on and so forth. And basically, long story short, I ended up writing a 4-page essay on it, basically, and came up with a whole match card. One of which was, one of the matches I came up with was Bron Breakker versus Swerve Strickland, and I was just literally like, that would be absolutely freaking amazing. I think the other one I came up with was for the main events, there was Cody Rhodes versus MJF, and there was also Rhea Ripley versus Timeless Tony Storm. So yeah, I went a bit mental on that. But long story short, if you want to check out any writing, wrestling, Liverpool, it's just at Geekboy Meta on Substack if you want to check it out. If you think it's all a pile of rubbish, then that's absolutely fine as well. Moving on. Yeah, the thing that I was going to mention. Oh, let me just read this. I think could be. I definitely think the Miz will have some sort of interaction with Cena. They'd be stupid not to, because I mean, obviously that was one of the feuds, because obviously you had The Rock involved back in the day as well. I still think The Rock appears at some point. Obviously I know he's doing his film and he's super busy, but I just wonder whether there's an outside possibility of Rocky being there for one of the last appearances of Cena. We'll have to wait and see. And then Edge, still not sure about that, to be honest. It could be. You never know. Maybe there's some sort of workaround that Tony Khan's done with Adam Copeland. Who knows? I mean, I know he's filming the Percy Jackson thing at the minute, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Mount Rushmore, I like these. Cena, Taker, Randy, and Seth, but the 4 pick is always difficult. Right, if we're doing that thing, so obviously you know 3 of mine already. Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and number 4. Oh, crikey. Just because, again, I know this is a really stupid reason, there'll be a lot of people having to go at me for saying this. But again, I had a bit of difficult period in my life about 13, 14 years ago, like I did with the Austin thing. And it was during the summer of punk. And CM Punk, I appreciate how stupid this sounds, but he really helped me at that point. He really, really did, and got me into a much better place mentally. And I like the guy. I just really, really like him. I know he can be a bit of a something rhyming with Rick at the time, or a Richard head, as my son has just invented, and then had to explain to me what it meant the other day, which he got from a meme, which is like, yeah, thank you, young people, for that. Yeah, anyway, why on earth was I telling you that for? Oh, yeah, no, so probably, mate, for me, CM Punk is probably in the top 4 for me. I'd be very close to putting Taker in, though, because of obviously what he's achieved. I mean, no one has run like Taker ever in the business. I mean, he's literally been on top for 30 years. He had the streak. There's no one that's ever going to do what Taker did. Obviously, he's a legend, locker room leader. I have so much respect for Mark Calloway. Apart from one thing that he did last year, which I'm not going to bring up, but I'm sure, being slightly liberal, you can probably guess where I was. The thing that I'm referring to, which I'm not going to bring up anyway. That's up to Mark Calloway. Can you give us a sneak peek of Liverpool versus Forest reaction? Yes, if what I'll do is I'll go and get a drawing pin, sit on it, and that will be my reaction when I start crying. Thing, to be honest, but I've got no idea. I mean, the Forest match it's a terrible, terrible match to come back to. And what I mean by that is, to be honest, I actually would have preferred, I know this sounds really stupid and really counterintuitive, I would have much preferred it to have been someone like Tottenham at Anfield, where Tottenham go for it kind of thing. I even would have, if it was Bournemouth away or someone like that, someone you know is going to go at you, I would have preferred that. Everyone knows what Forest are going to do, and it's not me taking the mick out Nottingham Forest. They're entitled to play how they did. They thoroughly deserved to beat us last year. And to be honest, they probably should have won the City Ground as well. So it's no disrespect Forest, they're entitled to play how they want. Obviously, the fact that Sean Dyche is now the manager, I mean, we'll put it this way, he's not going to be... they're not going to be playing Brazilian expansive football, I wouldn't have thought. So yeah, it's a terrible, terrible match to come back to be honest. The only thing I said the other day, well, you were on the live stream, weren't you? But yeah, the one thing I would say about the Reds is, just very quickly, getting off the topic of wrestling, Liverpool's next 12 matches are pretty reasonable. I think really Arna needs to be thinking at worst to be winning 8 out of 12. I think any less than 4 or 5, he could be in trouble. And I really hope that's not the case. I really do. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. What did Taker do last year? Oh no, because I don't want to do political stuff. He had a guest on his podcast during a certain election who I do not care for. But I'm aware there are people in the world who do care for the gentleman. I do not care for him, and I find him to be a despicable and wretched and appalling human being. Again, I'm not going to mention who he had on the podcast, but if I just say it was in November sort of time, in and around the American election, you can probably take a guess who I'm referring to. I can neither confirm or deny, Finn, but you are, put it this way, you are very, very, very warm in terms of your guess. Yes. Anyway, the thing I was going to say first, just very, very quickly, because I know everyone's got to go to bed and stuff. I actually haven't eaten any food for about 12 hours, so I need to actually go and have dinner and stuff. But not that you guys need to know about that. Anyway, the one thing that I was just going to quickly talk about, and it's just a very, very random thing. I was looking at the situation, obviously, of John Cena leaving. And then it struck me that AJ Styles is also leaving. And Brock Lesnar is part-time. Roman Reigns is part-time. Randy Orton basically is part-time. he's got to be 44, 45 now. I'm just looking at my notes. Seth Rollins, obviously he's not as old as those guys, but I wouldn't say he's injury prone, but one or two of these injuries you can tell are like stacking up, and hopefully it's not going to be a massive thing, but you do wonder. And Punk obviously has given no indication he's going to retire, but he's also spoken about the fact that he's not going to be one of them 55-year-olds waddling around the ring, basically. Obviously Punk is fine, he's 47, he's in absolutely fantastic shape, and he can go, that bloke could go for hours and hours and hours because he's got great cardio. But as Undertaker said on his podcast, Father Time is undefeated, and CM Punk cannot be wrestling for the next 10 to 12 years. The point I'm making is that is, for a variety of reasons, I suspect in the next 3 years, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, probably not Cody Rhodes, because Cody's only just turned 40, so Cody could go for another 12, 13 years, so he'll be fine with that. AJ Styles definitely retiring. Brock Lesnar, how long does he want to do it for now? I'm guessing Brock's about 46, 47 himself. Randy Orton, I don't know what his plans are. I don't know, but like, can you rely on an Orton? I don't know. Obviously, Kevin Owens has got that huge injury. I mean, hopefully he's not out forever, but I mean, obviously, I don't want to say this because I love KO. He's one of my favourite wrestlers in the world. I mean, it doesn't sound brilliant. I just hope it's not as bad as I fear. Fingers crossed, at least, anyway. And then obviously Rollins is all right. I'm him. How you doing, mate? I'm not calling you that. Yeah. So, folks, my point is basically that WWE could be in a bit of a tricky situation, possibly within the next, maybe not the next 18 months, but they could be in a bit of a situation by 2000 and let's say 28, in respect of most of their big guys are leaving. Now I'm guessing this is why they're now featuring Dominic Mysterio and Bron Breakker, because obviously they're going to be the next generation. But I have no doubts now that Dominic Mysterio is going to be one of their guys. There's no way they put him with John Cena last night if they didn't have confidence and faith in him. So I think they'll be pushing Dom. See, I kind of made a list of the ones that I reckon they're going to push. I mean, obviously the women we don't have to worry about, because obviously for the next 10 to 15 years you've got Rhea Ripley, you've got Lyra Valkyria, Charlotte might be able to go until she's 60, she's that athletic. You've got Liv Morgan to come back, you've got Roxanne Perez, you've got Becky Lynch. I really like Sol Ruka as well, from NXT. Because I think that's their tag team name, isn't it? Is it Sol and Ruka, or is it just Sol Ruka? The two girls that were on NXT. If anyone knows what their names are, just give me a shout, because I think I may have just butchered both of their names into a random tag team name. Yeah, I mean, that Lash Legend, she looks really good as well. So, yeah, I mean, the women, I mean, I think the women's roster is easier to refresh. Obviously, you've got Bex as well. The men's, I mean, obviously Cody will be around for a bit. I'm sure Roman will dip in and out. But in terms of after that, I mean, Bron Breakker's going to be a star. That's fine. I would actually turn Bron Breakker face next year, personally, because I reckon not Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he's got that sort of attitude around him. Jacob Fatu, if they can reheat him, hopefully they don't waste Jacob Fatu, because he has got all the tools in the world. I actually think Montez Ford should be a singles wrestler. Whether him and Dawkins want to go singles, I don't know, but I reckon he's another one. Uncle Howdy, I don't know. I just think that they've maybe messed that one up a little bit. Hopefully they've not. Bronson Reed, is he going to be a main eventer? I'd politely suggest not, but he's going to be a very, very good, someone that could come in and have a feud, be an Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion. Is he ever going to be the man? I possibly. The one that I think, and then you've got the ones from NXT. So you've potentially got Ricky Saints, who's only young. Obafemi, he looks like he could be very decent, to be fair. Obviously, Joe Hendry. I mean, with all of that, I suspect Joe Hendry is going to be one of those I mean, surely, I don't believe for a minute that WWE have not had discussions with TNA and Joe Hendry. They must have done by now because he's so popular. I mean, I saw a Joe Hendry t-shirt, what was it, a couple of days ago, just randomly in Leeds, you know what I mean? So he's super popular, super overseas. They must be planning on poaching him, surely they must be. Um, the one I actually think from NXT who could be one of the main eventers is Ethan Page. I'm really biased because I subscribe to Ethan Page's what do you call it? His not his podcast, his YouTube channel, and he's like a toy collector like me, and he goes to like toy conventions and stuff. I think he's even got his own toy store, and obviously he does that Alpha One promotion in Canada as well. And he's just a proper stand-up dude, and I think he's a tremendous wrestler. I think he's a great heel, and he's got the look that WWE wants as well. He can talk, he can wrestle, he's good looking. You know what I mean? I reckon Ethan Page is potentially one of their next big stars. I hope he is because I think Ethan Page is fantastic, absolutely superb wrestler. But I guess my general point is I think WWE may be in a position where they need to start building now because this is coming across as another inflection point where you had Austin and The Rock back in the day, and then both of them disappeared, and WWE was left in a massive hole. Obviously, WCW had gone out of business, and so on and so forth. And the product for WWE at that time was, I mean, it was just atrocious. I think they're in a better position now because obviously on the women's side, you have got Rhea Ripley, who is arguably the biggie. You could make a case if you were to take Cena out, probably Punk out, probably Roman, probably Brock. You could make a very convincing case that Rhea Ripley is their biggest star, basically, right now. But yeah, thoughts? I don't know. It was just something that popped into my head. The other option is, and I don't want to start an AEW WWE thing, so I watch both. I would be astonished if Maxwell Jacob Friedman is not working for WWE within the next 5 years. Absolutely astonished, to be honest. I don't see a world where that doesn't happen. I'm sure there's feelers that have already gone out. I mean, MJF is now appearing in Hollywood films, for God's sake. I mean, that's right in WWE's MO. Obviously, he's hung out with Cena. I mean, again, I'm not saying I'm not suggesting John Cena has tapped up MJF. Far from it, because he obviously is a stand-up bloke. It would be naive to think that a conversation, in theory, would not have taken place. I mean, obviously Tony Khan plays MJF a lot of money, but if MJF wrestles in WWE, he's a superstar instantly. So I would fully expect MJF to be on that roster within the next 5 years. Maybe even quicker than that. I don't know when his contract comes up next. I think it's in a couple of years' time. So yeah, who knows? But yeah, I think WWE needs to do a little bit of future proofing, but it shouldn't be as bad as when they lost The Rock and Austin, because obviously they've still got Cody, who's super over. You've still got Roman coming back. And obviously on the women's side, you've got Rhea, you've got Roxanne Perez is going to be a star. You've got Becky Lynch, you've got Io, so it shouldn't be as bad. But then they just need to be a little bit careful. Is what I'm getting at. Right, guys, I'm going to start wrapping up. Let me just read some of the comments. Yes, I am him. I'm not going to. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not doing. Definitely will not be pronouncing that. KO might be out until 2027. Well, to be honest, Finn, if we had a guarantee of him coming back, I mean, I might even take that because the rumours that I've heard are not particularly positive. Look, at the end of the day, as long as Kevin Owens is fine, he's got his health, and him and his family are safe, happy and healthy. That's my main concern. But being selfish, I would love to see him come back, so I love KO. I think he's one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. I would be gutted if he had to retire. So hopefully he doesn't. We'll have to wait. Oh, I forgot to mention LA Knight, didn't I? Yeah, but I mean, again, LA Knight's like, what, I think he's 41 as well. So if they're going to pull the trigger on Knight, it's going to have to be pretty quickly, to be honest. Let's have a look. Roman needs to stay or go. How many times can that man return? Yeah, dude, it's one of these. I don't know. It's kind of getting to the stage with The Rock whereby Roman comes back and then you get into a feud and it starts getting juicy and then all of a sudden, yeah, he's gone again. It was like with the Usos when I was really looking forward to Jay and Roman having a bit of a dust up. And it's like, yeah, Roman's gone again. It's like, well, I mean, no disrespect to Jimmy and Jay intended whatsoever, but they can't carry a feud with Roman on their own. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get what you mean, man. It is quite. It's the same sort of thing with Lesnar as well. Like he comes, but I think the thing with Lesnar that makes it different is he's more like impactful and it's just smash mouth and everyone knows what Lesnar's about. When Roman comes back, he wants to get involved in a feud, but then he just disappears. So yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Green Little Pocket was a beaut. Yes, I am him. I am going to be asking my vaunted brother. Shout out to the brother if he's watching. I am going to ask my brother to order me not quite a, not quite the official shirt. I'm going to ask him to do some digging using an account based in the Far East, which may or may not start with D, but I'm sure some of the younger people will know what I'm referring to. MJF will be in WWE. Yes, absolutely, man, absolutely. Where is Austin Theory? I don't know if there was all these rumours about Theory coming back and being in the Vision for some daft reason. I'm like, well, you can't just chuck him straight in there without any build-up. That's just really, really odd. I think he's still injured, but it's a shame for Theory because obviously he was super like hot at that point, and obviously he went over against Cena. He had Vin. I don't think the Vince McMahon thing helped Theory at all because obviously he was his last sort of project before the unpleasantness began, basically, shall we say. So I do feel a bit sorry for Theory. Hopefully he can come back. And if he doesn't make it in WWE, look, I'm sure there's plenty of promotions out there. I actually think he'd be a very good fit for Japan Pro Wrestling. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Austin Theory will be the first to be one day. I hope you're right, dude. I hope you're right. 'Cause like I said, he's a very, very good wrestler. He's got the look. He's got physique. He's an excellent, excellent wrestler. Great mat technician. He's athletic. He's young. Hopefully he can be, dude. Hopefully. Right, guys. I'm gonna start wrapping. Not wrapping. Obviously, I don't think anyone wants to hear that. Just quickly before I head off. Because I shouldn't say this, but like I said, I'm gonna have to whisper. The missus and the son are asleep, and I've got a day off, and they haven't, and I get to stay up all night and watch horror movies and read comic books, and also drink beer. Not that I don't love you guys, but I'm very much looking forward to doing that when I finish. But yeah, I'm only joking. I'm sure I can wait a few more minutes. Just to let you guys know what's coming up the rest of the week, as I usually do. Let me have a look. So obviously there's no Liverpool. Thank God Almighty for that for the next 9 days. So, the next time I'll be on lives will be for AEW Dynamite. So if you're a wrestling fan, obviously you can tune in for that. That'll be on 10:30 on Thursday. Friday, as per usual, is Toy Shorts Friday. If you've never watched before, basically I put a load of YouTube shorts on of wonderful toys and collectibles and action figures that I totally like, love, and everything. I've completely lost my train of thought. Oh yes, I'm doing a vlog as well. If any of you happen to be anime fans who are listening to the podcast, you might want to tune in on Friday because I'm going to be doing a anime vlog from a shop in Birmingham called Tokyo Toys. It's only a short little vlog, but it was this really cool store I went into. So if you want to check it out, you can do. Wrestling wise, I will be back on regular slot again for Late Night SmackDown, which will be 11 o'clock on Saturday night. That's going really well as well. We have a right laugh and everything people on there, so really enjoying doing that on the Saturday night now because it keeps me out of trouble, make sure I'm not at the pub with the lads, which is also really good for my bank balance. So thank you very much for that. Sunday I might be. Yes, Finn, I remember you saying last time. Yes, but funnily enough, Finn, I went to. This sounds like another cheap plug, actually. Have you been to Forbidden Planet in Wolverhampton in the oh, what is that bloody centre called? Um, it's not quite in Wolves city centre. It's this like little it's like this, well, not little, it's quite big actually. It's this shopping mall. Um, I don't think it's quite in the centre of Wolverhampton, but it's actually, maybe it is in the centre of Wolverhampton. I don't know. Basically, it's this shopping mall, and I forget where it is, and there's Forbidden Planet in there. I actually went in there, and it's not the best Forbidden Planet I've ever seen, but it's quite a cool little one, actually. I did a vlog there as well. Again, cheap plug, that'll be out in January. Sorry. I'll stop trying to sell things. But yeah, no, I was in Wolves recently. I actually went to see the Diogo Jota mural at the Leaping Wolf, I think the booze is called, just outside Wolverhampton, just outside of Molyneux, which was like really, really emotional because obviously I was devastated that we lost Diogo and everything. So yeah, went there, paid my respect, laid some. Did I lay any flowers? I think I left like a shirt or something like that. And then yeah, I just had to wander around Molyneux, and like on the way home, I just sort of waved at said goodbye to Diogo, and it was very, very cathartic for me. So yeah, also as well, while I'm here, just shout out to all the Wolves fans for just again what they did for Diogo this past summer. Yeah, shout out to you, and God rest the man's soul. Absolute legend. Oh, Finn, you disappoint me. What is Forbidden Planet? Oh, do. Obviously, I'm a massive geek, as the name implies, as I often say. Forbidden Planet's like basically this store where you've got like action figures. You've got it's like a lot of D&D stuff, which I'm not particularly into, but you've got like your graphic novels. You've got like movie posters. They've got like Marvel, DC, horror action figures that I'm really into. Obviously, when you've seen my live streams upstairs, you can see all my figures and stuff. That's where I get a lot of them from. Basically, I am just like a massive old geek, basically. So yeah. Do they sell WWE? Yes, they do. It's usually the basic figures. They know the WWE basics with the white card. The silvers occasionally. I think there might have been some in there when I went to Wolverhampton last time, but obviously that was about 5 weeks ago, so I'm assuming they might still be there. I didn't see many other places because I was only in Wolverhampton City Centre for about an hour, so I don't know if there's anywhere else. I'm assuming, well, obviously you'd know better than me, I don't know, but yeah. Hi, Depression Talk again, how you doing? You watched the Y-Files, mate? I can't say I do, Depression Talk, no. No, I've never heard of it, mate. That I'm aware of, at least, anyway. But yes, do you know where Bilston is? I've heard of it. Is it? Oh, is it on the way? Is it one of the stops on the way to Telford? Because I swear blind, I reckon. Oh, Cosford, Albright, and Bilston. Something along them lines. Is it? I think it's on the same train route because that's the route I used to go back home. Because obviously a lot of my family are in Telford, which is only like what 20 minutes away from Wolves, isn't it? 20, 25 minutes. I think Bilston's on the way, isn't it? Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. I think I went there for work once, many years ago when I was a temp, but it was like 3:30 in the morning, and it was an old abandoned warehouse, and I was freezing cold, and it was snowing, so that might have been my experience at Bilston, to be honest. So if it was that, it wasn't the most pleasant experience I've ever had. It's on YouTube, but you might like it. Oh, thanks for Depression Talk. Tell you what, seeing as you've been a good recommendation so far, mate. There we go. I'll show you the evidence. This is where I do all my writing, which you can't really see, but that's where all the magic happens. Let's have a look. Right, Depression Talk. I'm going to write this down on my laptop. The Y-Files. You'll have to go in a very long queue, Depression Talk, because my I won't show you obviously because I don't want to get told off by YouTube, but my YouTube list alone, I'm looking at it right now because I've got it set up for when I finish with you guys. There are 27 things that I have to watch, and about 8 of them are like an hour and a half podcasts. So I'll just say get in line for that one. Also, I've got like between Disney Plus, Netflix, and Amazon Prime, I think I counted I'm up to 45 things that I need to watch. This is also excluding football and the Reds. So yes, I'll definitely put it on my list, mate. But yeah, you might be waiting a bit of a while for that long. Bilston has an indoor market. There is a man who's oh, nice one, dude. Nice one. Tiltford, I'll write that down as well. Let's have a look. I'll put / Bilston WWE figures. Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Finn. Actually, I am going. I couldn't tell you when, but I'm going to go back at £2.50. That's all right, isn't it? Wi-Fi's will keep you busy for a while, though. That's what I mean. Depression talk. To be honest, like I barely have enough time to like sleep at the minute. To be completely honest, let alone take them. But yeah, I'll definitely have a look. Dude, thank you for the recommendation. Cheers. £2.50 is the right deal. Are they packaged, or are they just loose? Are they in plastic bags and stuff? Because I'm a bit of a weirdo with that sort of thing. I'm kind of a completist now. I like things in packages, and I don't like opening my wrestling figures. And I've got obviously I've got my 11, 12-year-old son who's played with toys obviously forever, and he's still to this day, he's like, Dad, can't you just take the figures out? And I'm just like, you keep away from my figures. You have your wrestling figures, thank you. Because obviously he got Cody Rhodes figure a while ago, and he's sat there ripping the figure out, and I'm literally sat there wincing like, don't wreck the package, like this, you know what I mean? So yeah, each their own though, each their own. I was going to say something, it's completely gone. Yes, again, the joys of having a weird brain where you forget things. Yes, guys. Yeah, that was the last thing I was going to say. On the Sunday, the midweek international break Liverpool podcast, which I am going to do. I will do it, honestly. I might move it from Monday to Sunday afternoon, depending on if my family are going to be about, basically. So yes, I might be on Sunday afternoon, but I'll let you guys know as well. Oh, that's fine, Finn. Don't worry about it, mate. Yeah, nice chatting with you, mate. Again, you're always welcome. Top one. Yeah, and I think that's about it, folks. To be honest, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else coming up. Next weekend. So not this weekend, the weekend after. Bye, Dad. Love. Yeah. Bye, son. The weekend after, if any of you are Transformers fans for some reason, I'm having a whole like weird geeky Transformers night because I went to what's it called? Battersea, where they've got a Transformers shop in London. As in, it's a full Transformers shop with like giant Optimus Primes and Megatrons and stuff. It's absolutely awesome. Again, being a massive fanboy of that sort of thing, I absolutely loved it. So there's going to be a vlog and a load of shorts on that. Also, as well, just very, very quickly, those of you who are probably more likely to be listening on podcast now, but those of you who've watched me for a while know that I did a music event called Hard Light. I didn't do the music event, but basically one of my very good friends, a Short Dark Stranger, check him out on YouTube, by the way. He's really cool. It's one of my oldest friends. Absolutely lovely man. Great musician if you want to check out his music. Yeah, just go to a Short Dark Stranger on YouTube. Honestly, it'd be well worth your while. He's lovely man, a great musician. But he's hosting an event called Hard Light, a night of dark electronica. So we did a live one, I want to say it was a couple of months ago, that I live streamed for him. Just to say I'm going to be doing it again. There's a load of artists and stuff, really cool musicians. That's going to be on December the 12th, I'll say, but I'll put more about that at the time. But yeah, there's loads of cool stuff coming, and there'll be loads of Christmas things and hilarity and things involving drinking and Liverpool and wrestling and all that good stuff. But yeah. Anyway, right, guys, I'm going to head off because I am about to drink water. And I've been looking forward to drinking water for several days now. Nudge, wink, basically. But yeah, again, guys, everyone that's contributed, Depression Talk, top man. Like I said, I will have a look at your channel again, buddy. But it does look really good. So yeah, thank you for interacting with me, and thank you for being so open with me and like listening to my stories as well. Very top fellow. And just thank you to everyone, especially Finn. Thank you very much for always contributing, top lad. And yeah, just thank you for everyone else who got involved. It's just really, really nice talking to you. We're building like a nice little community here now, I think. So yeah, it's honestly, it's really good. Thank you all very, very much. I do appreciate it. But yes, folks, that's it. So yeah, I'm going to head off now. Like I said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you on Thursday night at 10:30 for AEW Dynamite live reaction. Right, thanks everyone. Have a great night, and I'll see you in a couple of days.